think I know how to do it. Nah, Mark is the lead, but I mean, do you want? Nah, because I got a two-person call tomorrow where I'm the lead, so I'm like, so I don't want to do both. I don't know. Do you think it's? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay, so my normal volume is like this. Testing, testing. 1, 2. It's St. George FC versus Manly United. It's good? Okay. Wait. He'll end up being loud. Oh, his audio into the ears actually works. That's good. Mine doesn't. Mine's not so good. But so, bearing in mind, Mark will be louder than me. That's my anticipation based on my experience with him. Yeah, I can. So yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, because you can. Yeah. Okay. So you think, based on that, I should lower it a bit based on the assumption that he'll be louder. So testing, testing. 1, 2. The sprinklers are on. Let's hope we don't get wet. We'll match it around from Barton Park. Okay. Experience that you're a bit louder than me, and you're play-by-play, so that's the anticipation. But so I've turned your mic down a bit, but put this on first. I think first thing, Mark, how are you hearing my voice?
I can hear you nice and loud and clear.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've tested this. Your audio coming in is way better than mine, but that's fine.
Okay.
You too.
Okay.
So I'm not used to.
How do we sound? Are we about even through there?
Yeah. So he up a tad. Okay, so I'll up a click. Yep, I've done it. I'll put that up a click now. Yeah. So Mark, can you test again, please?
Testing.
Ooh,
How do we sound? Sounding better?
That's it. So that's like a good mix.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Well, here we are. Round 5 of the National Premier League. New South Wales men's brings us a very intriguing match of the round. Welcome to Barton Park, home of the high-flying St George Saints. The 4 games without conceding a goal Saints, the up from League One just a few seasons ago and now clawing for their right to be considered a true contender Saints, who host a side who have impressed the entire competition, fielding from the go and calling upon from the bench several players who have spent more than half their lives at the club. A club proud of their ritualistic ode to develop local talent into state-level stars. Manly United are not shy of a memorable campaign, that is for sure. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. My name is Mark DePoli. I'm joined by Eric Subiano, of course, for this match of the round. Let's go through the lineups of both these two sides. Thanks so much for tuning in to, of course, the match of the round. Unchanged for the home side. Why change what worked last week? Vladimir Knežević fields Nick Soros in goal after 3 clean sheets from his 3 games he played so far. Jaden Sito, player for the 2025 season, sits next to Kota Toyuka, who was in the team of the week last week. Of course, Nicholas Calieru and Caden Wright, the latter, scored last week the winning goal against Uni New South Wales, round out the back 4. Evangelo Soros, of course, starts at the base. Chris McStay and Jaden Cassella ahead of him. Those 3 have all picked up at least 1 goal or assist in the opening 4 rounds of the season. Jake True is looking for a first goal in St George Saints colours. He's in the 9 jersey. Justin Poon is one of the great youth success stories. He's in the 7. And Katsuyoshi Kimishima is the number 14, also looking for his first goal. Funnily enough, it's a front 3 without a goal to their names this year, but I'm sure can change right now. Evangelo Soros, by the way, some know him as Evan, picking up his thank you for achieving 100 caps from, of course, the club right now in honour of his 100 brilliant appearances so far with the club across many a seasons now. Heading to Manly and Rafael Murray's side starts a man between the sticks who played for St George last year. Of course, it's Mackenzie Siron, a back 4 flanked by captain Jesse Perez and Matthew O'Donoghue, the latter making his first start of the campaign. To the middle of that back 4, it's of course Luca Krejan and Irishman O'Driscoll. Luke Neuenhoff partners Kakeru Ono and Jasper Chipman. Kakeru Ono making his first start as well of the season, while Manly Youth 2 first grade success story Jasper Chipman is back after suspension he picked up against Apia a fortnight ago. Stefan de Robillard makes his first start since joining from Sydney United in the off-season. Darcy Burgess will control, of course, towards the top, while Ayumu Kimura will run hard down the other flank. It's Saxon Hillier, Max Martinello, and Kai Evans dropped to the bench after last week's loss to Sydney United. A reminder, my name is Mark DePoli. I'm joined by Eric Supiano, who I want to bring in right now as we speak. Eric, welcome to the match of the round. Welcome to Barton Park. A quick prediction before we kick off.
Oh, well, firstly, thanks so much for that kind introduction, Mark. It's always great to be on a match of the round for NPL New South Wales. And yeah, quick prediction. I think St George have looked excellent this season. You know what? I think they're going to keep up that record of not conceding. Another clean sheet for them. So I think I might be Nicholas Soros' best friend now after that prediction. I reckon 3-0 to St George.
Wow, that is a bold prediction straight off the bat. Plenty of Manly fans tuning in. Here's a bit of a drive from the Northern Beaches to get here. It is certainly going to be an exciting clash. To those who have tuned in, don't forget to like the stream before we press kick-off, of course. Thanks once again for joining us. Eric, very brave indeed. I will keep my cards closer to my chest, but St George's defensive record has been incredibly impressive. Of course, Manly the away side, the visitors, they'll be running from left to right across your screen. St George, the home side here, coming off the back of a 20s win as well that really got the crowd pumping prior to this one. We'll be hoping to look to repeat the senior feat. Thanks so much for tuning in. Manly start us off, and away we go in the match of the round. All the way back it goes, and Siron sends it right on the halfway line. I might even go into the St George technical area, competing with a lot of wind coming from the airport way, aren't they, Eric?
Yes, and I mean, I think the way that the wind affected this that first kick out from Siron, I think probably can't be underestimated how the wind might play an effect on tonight's proceedings. I mean, to be honest, sometimes it feels like a plane's passing overhead, which probably wouldn't be too far from the truth.
Pires sends this one forward. Good strong work at the back there from last week's Team of the Week inclusion to Utah. And you can probably hear the last moments of the ground announcer introducing what we've just done. The St George side flying after a couple of years of gradual, I wouldn't even call it incremental, I would call it gradual, steady, solid progress. Burgess picks up the ball for the first time of note in the game, gives it away. Chris McStay coming together there. Burgess trying to hustle hard as he competes with one of the players of the season in contention, I would say, Jaden Cassella, if he keeps up the way he's been performing so far in that number 10 jersey. a goal to his name this year. Half a chance earlier. St George spread it out wide to Justin Poon. Still 20s eligible. He clips it towards the back stick. It's gone up right into the edge of the 18-yard box. It's cleared away and recovered well. And Manly get the ball to foot for the first time of note. Pitty's the captain, competing with two players ahead of him in red. Picked up here by Jake True, back inside towards the box, and it was eventually outnumbered, was the scenario for St George. And Manly are able to get it away. Oh, lovely bit of interplay here. Burgess haphazardly gets it back and retains possession. Just trying to find a way past the halfway line at the moment, but St George a bit too hot to start with. It's Calieru who recycled it. Toyuka on the ball, eventually sending it wide. First introduction by Pires on his opposite winger. And he's winning that one 1-0. Good block there by Evan Soros. 101 caps today. Been at the club for a long, long time now and is clearly a favourite. Got the assist, of course, for the super sub of the competition so far, Mr. Harrison Farrow, when he scored an 89th minute winner against Sutherland Sharks just inside a month ago. O'Driscoll rolling it with his centre-half partner here. And then given away in a really dangerous position. Played wide towards True, but a miscommunication that we're not really used to seeing St George make in these opening rounds of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, the idea is right. Jake True, you said, yet to get off the mark for his new club, but a proven goal scorer in this competition. And I'm sure it won't be too long before Jake True finds that goal to ease the nerves a little bit.
Well, he's already picked up an assist, and it was a brilliant one to find Jaden Cassella against Wollongong Wolves, which is, of course, his old club. Chris McStay also scored in that one, which was a bit of a wowzers for Wolves. Nice touch by the ball kid. Lovely, well done.
Yeah, he'll be hoping his coach is watching, because every little bit helps when you're trying to develop yourself as a player.
Indeed it does. Add it to the highlight reel. Lovely by Soros. And a wind getting involved and helping out the home side greatly here, who are probably used to playing into it a whole lot more than Manly. A first foray forward, I was going to say, for Caden Wright, who's hot off that goal last week, and now Manly have a chance to pounce. They've come past the halfway line. Options left and right and sort of through the middle channel. It's come here to the left. I should say the right. And the cut back onto the right foot, but he's taken himself a little bit too far wide, and Jaden Sito, there's an example of why he was the Players' Player of the Year last year. And well shielded out for a goal kick, which I'm sure Soros will be grateful for an early touch in what is becoming a bit of a chilly evening.
Yeah, it's only going to get colder, but Derobelard, a tricky customer. He's had that reputation ever since I first saw him at the Wanderers Academy. Now he's at Manly, and it's St George thankful to have someone as calm as Jaden Sito on the back that time.
Well, great to see international players playing in the NPL. A 6-cap Mauritian international is Derobelard. Played youth for Australia, of course, at under 16s level. And a first moment in contention with Jaden Sito, and that's both fullbacks on this near side, one for each team that have got the better of their wingers so far in the opening 5 minutes of what is still a 0-0 game. Burgess bouncing it back from O'Donoghue, I do believe, and they'll restart out the back. Pires might pick up the ball here. In fact, no. O'Driscoll will leave it. And it's another moment where on the ball, Ewenhoff a little too slow to respond. He needs to sharpen up quick smart. The man who joined in the off-season from Brisbane Roar's NPL side. Back it goes to Soros in goal. Toyuka living a little dangerously as he's pressed into an early pass. Sito, he's the one that gave that away. Really well rolled there by Chipman. And then strong work by Kimishima in that 14 jersey with that iconic headband. Really excited to see what Katsuyoshi Kimishima brings throughout the rest of the 25-odd rounds this season. Good work in defence by Justin Poon. This is good work by Derobelard now for Manly, with half a chance here to find Burgess, who already has a goal to his name this season, but Toyuka clears and then a bit more comprehensively by Cassella, but only as far as Neuenhoff. That's better by Neuenhoff, and then given away on the far side by Kakeru Ono. A first start for the number 8 in Manly. 6 minutes into this one. Manly finally working their way into it seems. Neuenhoff with an interception, +1 to his name. Sito to Justin Poon. Scored 10 goals as a 17-year-old as St George got promoted several years ago. Saurus. And then Kimishima, who sends it in looking for Jake True. Up in the air again, and they actually might win a corner off of that. No, it will just be a goal kick. So last touch off of Jake True. So he did win the header, Eric.
Yeah, and Krizan, I mean, that might be the one warning Krizan gets, but True, so smart with his movement, just sneaking in on the blind side of the defender there.
A lovely work out the back. The Robillard in his first start of the season wants to do a lot of impressing, I'm sure. This is easy pickings at the back for Caballero. With options either side, he sends it out wide to Cassella, using his left foot, of course, to find Kimishima. Half a chance here in the box now. Kimishima onto his right, now back onto his left in a flash, and across the face of goal, and Jake True was there. And really good defending by Manly. And a first moment of the blood pressure rising and the heart rate increasing for that Manly defence. Yeah. True looking to be that fox in the box.
Yeah. And Krizan, he was alert that time. Very good challenge.
Yeah, he must have heard you. He's got an earpiece on, an AirPod perhaps. Might just be a little bit too much. That ball has gone out. Oh, and that's an unfortunate one there, which he'll have to cop. Yumu Kimura in that number 11 jersey, hitting the deck hard, despite the fact that the ball had gone dead before he was scythed by a perfectly fair tackle by Toyuka. Oh, and he looked to turn and go, did Kimura. Caballero sends this one out wide. Cassella with a turn of pace, and Caden Wright. Look at how attacking this right back is.
Yes.
And the finish, it looked like it would have gone in last week had it not been blocked on about the 6-yard marking, but when it fell back to him, sort of Chris McStay style against his old club, the second bite of the cherry was absolutely perfect, and he buried it into the back of the net.
Yes, and Caden Wright, I mean, actually, first time I saw him was when St George won that derby against Sutherland a couple of weeks ago, and impressed with his energy, like, as he said, up and down the flank, but also drifting infield as needed to support the midfield.
Fantastic bravery. Sorry to interrupt you, just end your sentence there, by McStay, and then Saurus. Saurus is everywhere across this central and left channel in the opening moments of this game. Caballero. Oh, a pass that almost broke through Manly's midfield in just a flash. Picked up here by McStay. This is True. Wants that first goal onto his right. True then back onto his left and cleared away by Manly. Picked up here by the Robillard, who then cuts inside towards where there are opposing jerseys, but he's eventually got it away nicely. Burgess involved again, cutting it back inside towards him. He's got options out wide. He goes through the middle. Kimura offside all the time. And a miscommunication from Manly up top. But 10 minutes into this game, still 0-0. Mark DePoli and Eric Subahano here to bring you this match of the round. Thanks so much for tuning in. Kimura putting on a press. The Robillard coming across too. It's forced Saurus into a clearance. Now, well, one header there by Ono on the far side. Meaning it will be a St George throw. Caden Wright, I do believe, holding that ball, and he finds Saurus. Clipped ball in behind. It's a foot race. Well, Cassella is clearly quicker there than Luca Krijan. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. If there's another yard closer from both players' respective starting positions, it might have been Cassella getting there first. Here is Jaden Cassella involved. True was threatening. Chris McStay blocked there expertly well by O'Driscoll.
Yeah.
And that one hurt. I believe there might have been a ricochet that gone wrong there. I took my eye off it as I tracked the ball. Perhaps he fell wrong.
Yeah, he's holding his face, though, so hopefully it's nothing serious.
We'll take a look back at it here, Eric.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Casella's left-footed ball in, of course. McStay went down. Oh, and then he ran into a Manly man.
Yes, just on his follow-through, so nothing, no ill intent there from either party, just one of those unfortunate ones.
No, certainly did not look malicious, which is good. In terms of, for the validity of the game and the fair rate at which it's been played so far. Not so much for the right cheekbone, I'm sure, of Chris McStay.
Yes. Good to see. The checks have been cleared. And, McStay, such a brilliant player. I think I I don't think I've ever seen him had a bad game. The energy he provides in midfield, running up to support the midfield, running back to support the defense, left and right. He covers everything out there on the pitch. He's a great asset for St George FC.
Well, he's about to cover the St George technical area as the home side will be temporarily, you hope, down to 10 men. It will be a dropped ball from about where the midfield third crosses into St George's attacking third, and Saurus picks it up. So 10 men St George, temporarily 10 men,
very
straight
temporarily,
away,
yes.
straight away back to 11. Tuyuka finds his centre half partner Kalieru.
Yeah.
And there is Chris McStay being closed down by Ono. Oh, Jake True in behind. He is onside. Jake True will have to peel this one back. Poon is there, and it's battered away.
Yeah.
That was well defended in the end. Enough to put Poon off his shot and punched over by Mackenzie Siren.
Tell you what, those can be awkward. It's almost hit straight into the ground by Poon, and then it's rising sharply, the ball. So Siren, good strong right hand, not just away from goal, but actually over the big fence behind the goal to our left.
195 centimetres tall, and he used all of that plus a little hop.
I mean, to be honest, look at him. I'm surprised it's only 195 centimetres.
Now, you can argue with transfer mark, not me.
Yeah.
This will be an in-swinging ball. Saurus on the edge of the box. Cassella on the edge of the box. Two hands were raised. It's gone towards the back stick, and Siron palms it away for the time being. Burgess at the second time of asking. Picked up here by Cassella, who's onto his right foot. And with the supposedly weaker foot, he sends it out wide, but then gets a second bite of the cherry and then a blast of pace, and he's kept it in. But will he be able to beat Burgess, the opposite number 10? And what a beautiful battle. Hopefully there's a photographer down there that got a picture of that. 10 on 10. Picked up here by Poon, who forced that corner just moments ago on the opposite wing to which he's starting. Caden Wright scoring it here to True, but he was harped on really well there. And away come Manly. And it's even numbers on even numbers here. It's about a 3v3 if they can play quickly. This is really good work here. And Kimura, he's to the left of the 18-yard box. He wants to drop it back into Burgess, who can hit them from distance. He sends this one out wide. Looking forward to Robillard, who has a goal in 20s this year. Gives away a free kick there. And again, how good so far has Jaden Sito been in just small moments where he's come out on top?
He has been excellent, Mark. I think it wasn't a bad touch from de Robillard, but just looped up high enough, and Sito was on it in a flash, getting his body in the way and cleverly winning the free kick.
Toyuka. McStay rolls it across the body. Kalieru finds it into this man who almost epitomises the 6, 8, and 10. Jaden Cassella plays all through those areas of the pitch. He picks it up like a 6 and he gets forward and gets goal contributions like a 10. Saurus, an NPL champion, here to bring St George to the promised land, perhaps. Easily won here by Aaron O'Driscoll. To his centre partner, Luca Krejan. Krejan, who joined from Bulleen Lions in the off-season. Aaron O'Driscoll's been here for 2 years himself. He's played all over the Pacific and Australia. Bouncing here. Keeping his composure was Jasper Chipman, one of those under-9s to first grade success stories. Cleared away by Siron against his former club, of course. He saved a penalty, you might remember, on the 16th of May last season to keep it 0-0 on a rainy old night against the team he's now playing for. That was in the 88th minute. Saurus, Caden Wright, who's played football in Germany as well before returning back to Australian shores. 22 this year. Well, Caden, still a super, super young player. This St George team, despite the fact that they're super high up the table and extremely rigid at the back and sturdy at the back, they don't have a particularly old average age. Sitting between that 24 and 25 mark. Chris McStay, the oldest one out there, and he's not a day past his 30s.
Yeah, and as that, well, it appears to be shepherded out, although we have to wait and see. I think, and I will lean on the knowledge of long-time League One men's reporter Justin Smith, because, yes, it was kind of through his reporting I learned that during St George FC's promotion season, they were going young. They were planning for the future. In fact, possibly even getting promoted before they expected to, but, you know, you're seeing the rewards now with this young squad.
Interesting how this St George back four almost becomes like a back three with Caden Wright so high up. Now he's playing like a prime João Cancelo into midfield.
Yep.
It's so interesting to watch. And a young team mentored by a young coach, of course. In Rafael Murray, taking a 2-year break from the Saints. Spent 3 years as a Sydney FC youth coach, so someone who knows how to funnel talent towards the top. Back in 2023, he won the Under-20s League 1 title with 5 rounds to spare. So he knows what it's like to work with younger players. And he was ready to make his first foray into senior coaching with this young team that he's got. Saurus dilly-dallying on the ball and giving away Burgess. Could have been a yellow card against the number 8 of St. George, as Burgess does really well. Bouncing there with Kimura. And then Neuenhoff, I do believe, was robbed of the ball. And that was a moment of hustling back into position by St. George players that brought about Toyuka into a round of applause for his teammates. This is Sito towards the halfway line to find Kimishima. Wanting that first goal here today. I'm sure he came close about 10 minutes ago. It's 17 minutes and a half into this game. Still 0-0 with St. George having the better of the chances so far. Caleiro striding towards the halfway line. Cassella picking it up in that right-back spot to find his actual right-back. And True sends it in behind off Caden Wright. And well dealt with by a 9-time Irish youth international, Aaron O'Driscoll. Chipman at the other end of his career, who does well. Krajan sends that out wide. Ono, I believe, picks that up and sends a dainty pass into the sky, but a little bit directionless if looking for a blue jersey. The Robillard was nowhere in the vicinity, and easy pickings for an experienced goalkeeper like Saurus. McStay turning into danger. Chipman there, 33 on number 88. Caden Wright, diagonal pass cut out here, and forward comes Manly. Oh, a sliding challenge! Has won the ball. No hesitation in the lack of a call from the referee. Hitting the deck hard on cap 101 for the club was Saurus, and he's feeling a little blue after that against Manly. Jeez, that was a big coming together. Felt that from here. And play goes on. Aaron O'Driscoll picks that one up. Holy smoke.
I mean, yeah, I suppose in the end he did get the ball, Matt O'Donoghue, but that is fine margins between that and something that would have seen a card being shown.
You absolutely positively have to get the ball. You go back and you watch the replay of that. The studs end up around the sort of knee area on the follow-through.
Yes.
However, he wins the ball. And the referee, as mentioned, didn't even think twice in letting it play on. So that's the standard that's been set in that tackle right there. That's what is acceptable. So the home fans, the away fans, and the players, most importantly, will have to prepare for a game contested at that ferocity. O'Donoghue picks it up to find the teenager Chipman, who gives it away to Cassella. Sure, Saurus will have a bit between his teeth for the rest of the game now. Of course, O'Donoghue on his first start after 5 rounds, looking to make a mark after coming on several times this season in the second half. Lovely work there by Toyuka. And Saurus, who's okay, by the way, which is the most important thing out of that whole kerfuffle a minute or so ago. 20 minutes into this one. Still 0-0 here at Barton. Mark Topolii here with Eric Subiano in a game that's been hotly contested so far and end-to-end at times, certainly. Jaden Cassella, lovely touch to Saurus. Sito with his first moment in the attacking third of the pitch, you'd have to say. Been predominantly hugging his defensive third. Missed by Kimishima, picked up here by Burgess. McStay. True on the turn, away from one, past Chipman that was. And then, read really well by the teenager. In strong again was Jasper Chipman. Up against Caden Wright, who again was making that inverted run and was sitting right in the central channel. Such an interesting way of playing, and I absolutely love to see a bit of creativity and mix-up.
Yep, and I think the point you made about Jaden Sito, we waited 20 minutes for his first really attacking run, but I think as he's providing the balance, so he's a bit more conservative, and that allows Jaden Wright to be more marauding.
Living a little dangerously, O'Driscoll. De Robillard is able to win it back there. Turning is Jasper Chipman. Burgess on the halfway line. His captain making a marauding run forward on the far side. It's come here to Burgess. Darcy Burgess on target from a set piece earlier this season. Ono sending it in towards the side netting. My word. Didn't quite catch out Saurus entirely, but he had to make a diving claim just to make sure. No touch, though, from the big goalkeeper, and it will just be a goal kick 22 minutes into this one.
Yeah, absolutely wound up there. Possibly trying to catch the keeper out. A lot of force on that cross, but Soros probably had it covered.
And look at this again. So Caden Wright is near the halfway line.
Yes.
From the goal kick, the goalkeeper Soros was playing as the left-sided centre-back. The right-sided centre-back was in the position of a right-back, traditionally. It's fantastic to watch. But Manly have been able to keep them quiet so far. An improved Manly performance. Oh, lovely though. Kimishima in behind, past the captain of Manly, looks to hook it towards the backstick. Cassella trying to get it under control. McStay on the ball!
Ooh, yeah.
Didn't quite get a hold of that one, Eric.
Yeah, and tell you what, McStay, he's got a good shot on him. He's perfectly capable of scoring, even from that position, kind of an acute angle. What about the passing from St. George? You speak about them, they're doing something different when they have the ball at the back, but it only takes a couple of quick passes, and they had Manly scrambling. That was an excellent move.
That was an excellent move. You're exactly right. That would have been a goal of the season contender, playing out from their own goal kick and then finding, when the end, a goal kick up the other end, but my word, it came close. Kimishima, strong there, was Aaron O'Driscoll, who's just honked that into the night sky. Ono, wanting to make amends for that cross that he put into the side netting. Again, another one on his first start here today after a host of 3 changes from Vladimir Knezevic between last week and this week. 2 coaches at different stages of life in terms of where their birth certificate says, but both have been coaching for more than a decade. Raphael for St. George has been the coach since he was 16. Knezevic started over 10 years ago before his playing career ended, by the way, in his native Serbia. Toyuka was in strong there under Robillard. It's picked up here by Sito, who sends this out wide. Jesse Pure is strong. Did he put enough of a challenge in to warrant the referee's whistle? No. Justin Poon running directly at fullbacks, which is a scary sight. Unless you're Jesse Pires, though, who was in strong and then potentially was taken down. But again, it's a 3v3. And this is what happens when fullbacks go forward for St. George, unless you have Toyuka here sweeping up and then shielding well and then finding a pass. Wow. And the home fans know exactly how good that quality is on display.
Everything you want there from Kota Toyuka, or everything you want from a centre-back in about space of about 5 seconds. A sliding tackle, clean as a whistle, then a nice little reverse pass that perhaps Manly weren't expecting.
3 from 4 starts this season. The under-20s player of the year last year. He's only turning 20 this year. He's a 20s player. This guy's in 2 group chats.
Yes. Well, I'd hate to see his WhatsApp notifications then if that's the case, but it does show you just how good he is. And, back...
McStay, lovely pass, but Drew's run was cut short by Aaron O'Driscoll, who's been strong. Matthew O'Donoghue sending that one out wide. Ono beaten by Caden Wright. Kalieru. McStay, this time with his right boot, looking for the same option that he tried 30 seconds ago. It's Drew from an acute angle. It's taken a little touch and easily claimed in the end by Siren, who read it well. Did the 26-year-old, who's kept 2 clean sheets so far this season. Jasper Chipman back in the squad after serving that suspension against Apia. That ball's gone through him, but it's picked up by Neuenhoff, who then left it for Burgess, who's gone with a Travella pass out wide. Chipman, the youngster's kept on his run. Up against Caligeru, it's taken a deflection into the box, and it was being threatened there by Ayumu Kimura. Put back in towards the box, but nobody in blue or red there. And it will hold up here, and this is likely to be kept in by Sito, and it is, because St. George want to get the ball moving as quick as possible. On a grass pitch, which is always a treat. Manly have relinquished the press in the last, I would say, 10 moments of this 25-minute encounter so far. Oh, McStay, of all people, gives it away. Kimura thought about the pot shot from distance. He's going to go for it now, Kimura. Ooh. And it forced a diving effort to at least, again, cover his right side of the goal. But Soros will have just a goal kick off of Kimura's shot.
Yeah, and I mean, you had Soros worried enough to dive, so decent enough. A little bit of a message there to St. George about, leaving space in front of their back 4. 24-year-old
Japanese Kimura in the number 11 jersey, joined from Gungahlin United and the Canberra comp, of course. 3-hour drive northbound. And then a little bit more to find Manly. Oh, lovely work by Aaron O'Driscoll, in all fairness, who's been pretty rock solid here tonight. Man City Youth Academy prospect, of course, in his much, much younger days. Caden Wright will have the throw. A reminder, a goal to his name, the winner last week against the Students. Taking it eventually towards Jake True. Really want to see Jake True. I'm sure you can comment best on this, Eric. Want to see the best out of Jake True. He's had just the three ACL tears in his senior career, and he's back again. And we all know how hard the kid works.
Yeah.
But what can he do on his best day?
I mean, just look at him. He's a physical match. I mean, more than a match for basically every central defender in this league. His off-the-ball running is so good, and he's not just about going for goal, but he doesn't mind making the run from centre to out wide to kind of create space for his teammates. So gets a lot of goals. He's shown that, but also Jake True, very much a team player.
Which is great, because you might think that somebody recovering from 3 ACL tears might want to play a bit. I should say Chris McStay going over the top towards Cassella, and Jake True was there, but the goalkeeper was pacey, who slid a bit in this watered ground, which did receive some sprinkler treatment before the kickoff.
I mean, given with this wind, I mean, we also received the sprinkler treatment.
Indeed, we did.
Yes. Us and the camera operator, Paul, is doing a great job as always. But yeah, so just got to make sure all this electronic stuff is safe.
Oh, a late challenge there on O'Donoghue. By the way, Cassella looked a little worse for wear out of the challenge, where he originally received the ball from Chris McStay. It is dinking it towards Burgess. The long-haired legend wasn't able to get on the ball there. Saurus, who's, of course, playing just fine after that massive tackle he was on the receiving end of 10 minutes ago. 28 minutes exactly into this one now. St George 0, Manly United 0. Chances at either end plentiful, which has been great to watch so far. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream if you haven't already, whether you're watching on your phone, your laptop, or your TV. A little minimisation will help us out a whole lot. Let us know you enjoy what you're listening to and experiencing on the whole. McStay picks it up, goes back behind and into their own half. Saurus. Kota Toyuka. Back to Evangelo Saurus. Goes for the over-the-top clip. It's won there by O'Driscoll, who's been the more heavily involved of the two centre-backs between himself and, of course, Krejan. Toyuka goes back to Kalieru. He's got Saurus behind him. Back to Toyuka. And again, no press this time from Manly. That's a quick change after they tried a little bit in the opening minutes of the game and very much holding their line. That's led by Kimura, I should say. Look at where Kalieru is right now. Cassella, that ball went dead. It will be a Manly throw.
That's it. St George continuing to show us something different with the rotations. As of right now, although they might swap soon, Caden Wright actually right swap, but they're swapping right now. But yeah, just Caden Wright is everywhere, and his teammates are moving around him to suit.
A little coming together between Jake True and I believe Krejan. But they said a little, that's okay, mate. And on they went with their respective tasks. St George in possession. Impressed by what I've seen from Manly defensively so far against a team that have been good and are in good spirits this season. Neuenhoff. Lovely pass. Incisive to find Burgess, who has space in front of him and runners in behind. He has options ahead of him, left and right. De Robillard sends it in behind again for Burgess. Into the box now. Cross blocked. They're both claiming the ball, and it will be given as a goal kick by the referee.
Yeah, of course, I think probably some assistance, because from the assistant on this near side, of course, they're all mic'd up. But yeah, the decision, to be honest, not too many complaints from Manly, so I think we can be happy with that.
Well, we have quite the name next to me. Joe Russo, who's been impressive so far, my friend? Okay, Manly number 11 has been good to watch so far, according to one of the best with the pen. Back in play now. Dinks ball over the top, looking for True, which came from Kalieru. True out wide. First time he's really got the ball in this kind of wide position in at least 20 minutes or so. Krejan receives it back from O'Donoghue. Here is, and then eventually back by Neuenhoff to his goalkeeper, taking a little wayward touch, forced into a haphazard clearance, flicked on by Burgess straight to Yuka, who for the first time in the game was slow on the ball. A little too relaxed, perhaps. Caden Wright, about to cross the halfway line, does so with a pass. Cassella sends it out wide. Beautiful triangle being made in red, white, and green. True picks it up against O'Donoghue. Goes back towards Christopher McStay. A look over the shoulder by Caden Wright, who forages forward, sends it out wide. And True again delivers it in. It's a very, very high ball. Lots of backspin. Tough to control, but not for Poon, who's now into the box and then onto his right. Poon lays it off, and Cassella going for the exquisite and wins a corner. Great ball, Jake. Good touch, Pooney. And that was what was said by St. George out there. They're happy with that move there. But Manly, again, I wouldn't say that Siron has been forced into anything like a higher echelon save. It's been safe so far from Manly, who have defended everything well so far. 32 minutes into this one. Cassella, with his prominent left foot, will be providing an in-swinger right now. 2 hands on his head. I think that's a sign. It's come here towards Caden Wright. This is how they scored last week, but he was way more close to the box. Back to Cassella from a different angle this time towards the back stick. And Sito was there, looking to break a 915-day goal drought dating back to 2023. But not to be for the number 4.
Yeah, and I think it was some number 4 and number 4 crime. I mean, his other number 4, Jesse Pires, a little bit of a look up at Sito. Not best pleased with the push.
And the wind coming to the aid of St. George, as Manly were the ones impacted by it. But they've been able to keep it in through the brilliant header of Pires. Burgess now plays it square to Neuenhoff, who slips at the pivotal moment, but still is able to keep it past Saurus and Toyuka, who's out of position. This is Chipman. Sends this one out wide, asking a lot of de Robillard. Sito hit his hands, but on we go. Poon, good touch, runs square. McStay looks over his shoulder, living a little dangerously, and then doing so perfectly. But that pass, after the really, really nice show of indoor futsal skills, was wayward. And Manly still just holding on here. And can they find a moment? Can they find, and continue to find, I should say, times where St. George have a little too many red jerseys pushed forward? Eric, it's most certainly possible. They've been impressive so far. An improved performance, perhaps.
Yeah.
When they face Sydney United, both coming into that game as undefeated teams so far in the season, losing that tagline come the end of the 90. O'Donoghue, first start of the season towards, of course, Muro, and then towards Burgess. Took a left foot swing at it, and then comes out here too, of course. Jesse Pires, who scored a 90th minute winner against the Western Sydney Wanderers midway through last year. But that one was a header when he got subbed on. That one just then a little more far-fetched.
Yes. Jesse Pires, not the tallest player out there, but I mean, good for a headed goal, at least one a season. He's got a great leap on him, so that might be something to watch out for.
Sent forward by Toyuka, a little push there by Jake True, and then Aaron O'Driscoll forced to send this one backwards to his keeper, Mackenzie Siren. Living a little dangerously past Neuenhoff and sliding in his Kimishima, but the captain of Manly has done really well there. Neuenhoff, a goal to his name against Apia earlier in the season. Former Western Sydney Wanderers man, of course. O'Driscoll. There's an O'Driscoll and an O'Donoghue in Manly's back line. Mm-hmm. Past Ono, picked up there by Caliero. That's O'Donoghue. It goes past Justin Poon on the opposite wing for the time being. Ono is there as he dropped it back in towards Chipman, who's clipping this into the wind, which makes it easier for Sito to deal with. For the umpteenth time in this game, Sito's done well. Saurus, back to his left-sided centre-back, who then pops it into his right-back, who's playing as like a right-sided 6 at the moment. Fascinating. Toyuka, back to his right-back, playing next to Evangelo Saurus. McStay occupying what looks like a right wing-back position for the time being. I'm just trying to give you guys a visual representation of what this looks like. Very, very fluid. It's brave.
Yeah. You've got Saurus dropping deep. That allows Sito to push a little bit further forward. This is great to watch from St. George. Fascinating
36 minutes in, though. No goals. It hasn't rendered a significant chance for either team, I would have to say. No real big chances to go down on the stat sheet. A little dangerously there. Was there a race foot? There was enough to warrant a free kick. No need for any cheese. Neuenhoff crosses the halfway line, but bounced off the ball. Fairly so by Jake True. Hustling hard. O'Driscoll, right footer pass to find his captain, Jesse Pires. Came closest with that half volley attempt just a minute and a half ago. Pires crosses the halfway line and cuts past one, including Soros and Kimishima. De Robillard. Want to see more of Stefan De Robillard, who sends this, unfortunately, to an opposing jersey. And it will go out dead for a throw-in. Another good touch by the ball kid below us. That time showing his handling skills. 36 and a half minutes played, still 0-0. Pires in towards Burgess, up against Chris McStay. And McStay's hustle was enough to throw Manly's number 10 off of his track. Won there strongly by Pires. Not the first time we've said that this evening. McStay on the half volley clips it towards O'Donoghue. That being O'Donoghue from Manly, not on his own team. Krajan goes all the way back to Siron. Being closed down by one red jersey, that being Jake True. Right on the halfway line, this might fall. One in the air by Caden Wright. Strong header. And then even stronger in Justin Poon, who has maintained his position on the right flank as the right winger. In the last 5 minutes or so. Silly giveaway there, it looked. And Manly recycle. And for the first time in the game, Manly, for about a minute or so, have been able to keep the ball. And this is really lovely. Burgess sliding in, but then he gives it away. Kimishima picks it up with an option inside in Jaden Cassella. It is Cassella who takes a touch away from O'Driscoll. Lovely shielding of the ball by the former Central Coast Mariners A-League men's appearance maker. De Robillard with 3 red jerseys around him. He's not going to be able to get away from any of them. Cassella with a little Ozil bounce past to find True. This is Jake True. Left-footed ball in. Poon was threatening, and then Soros was there up in the sky. I felt a bit of rain on my face there. I don't know about you, but it was tipped to come down around 8 o'clock. Burgess with red shirts in front of him, but a free blue to his left. Oh no. Squares it. De Robillard. Forcing a pouncing save upwards by Soros. Not the hardest work I imagine we'll have to do for the rest of the game. But they're making chances at the same rate that the home side are too, Eric.
They are, and sharply struck. I mean, Soros is about as tall as Mackenzie Siron, so you'd expect him to make the save, and that he did.
Well, Manly will be taking a corner that will be going against the grain of the wind. So this will be pushing away, you imagine, from the goalkeeper and into a forehead, which might just give it that little bit of extra power, perhaps. But it will be in swung. Kakeru Ono. One hand raised by the number 8. Good ball. Deep ball. O'Driscoll trying to keep it alive. Cleared away there by Kalayeru. And a touch on the halfway line by the freest man in the world. And Jasper Chipman sends it back into a dangerous area. Soros will claim. Look at the way that the wind took that completely out of the path of the centre-back who had maintained his high position.
Yeah, it's I mean, generally been blowing against Manly, but swirling around a bit. That almost looked like they had, at the worst possible time for Jasper Chipman, a tailwind.
It really did feel like as he played it, the wind kicked in. And again, it's going to be involved here. Sliding. Oh, Sito was collected late, but the ball was won fairly by De Robillard. And now the left back is out of position. McStay is the one who's in his place. De Robillard sends this out wide to Burgess, who's been good all evening so far. Burgess onto his right. Can he fashion an opportunity? Back to De Robillard, who had that chance just a moment ago. Staying down is Jaden Sito, and this is a huge cause for concern, which will now bring about the referee's whistle to give it the attention it deserves.
So he's gotten up to his feet quite slowly. I think that's, there was a stoppage anyway, so be good refereeing there just to check on Jaden Sito's welfare.
It was completely fair.
Oh, yeah,
Watched
of course,
it upon replay. Yes. The ball was won. It was just the following through leg that made a clip, I just believe, on the top of the ankle. But if you win the ball, that's okay. Burgess, arguably Manly's best asset going forward so far. Maybe not just today, for the whole season. A pull, a push, a tug, a fall over. St. George have the ball. Then they give it away. Krajan strong, my word! Just jumping over it was Justin Poon, who might have just saved his ankle. And winning a free kick, probably for the intent.
Yes, and the ref also deciding Jake True wasn't going to catch that ball, so he's bringing it back. I always like to see that when a ref doesn't just blow the whistle straight away, waits to see what might unfold.
Yeah, good refereeing, indeed. There's a host of Man United players who, from their 4 games so far this season, have already got 2 yellow cards. Luka Krajan in the number 2 jersey is one of those players already on 2 yellows. McStay, true. Has he held his run to remain onside? He has. A right-footed ball in towards the front post, punched away, and then I think Krajan might have actually got the final touch, punched into his own feet by his goalkeeper. So St. George, approaching the 42nd minute of this first stanza, are in the attacking third of their home pitch. Cito back to his best. McStay thinks about it from distance. And the former Clyde man from his native Scotland, who helped them achieve promotion into League One, was blocked off there. Out wide, Saurus sends it even further wide. Is that Caliero who's all the way forward? In fact, it's Poon across the face of goal this time for Cassella onto his left, and it was blocked brilliantly by a sliding captain. Bicycle kicked in. McStay to the edge of the box, placing it off the post, and then Poon smashing it across the face again. And 3 chances bring about 3 heart-in-mouth moments, but 3 moments again dealt with well by Manly.
Yes, and sometimes you earn your luck, so the ball did ricochet off the post, but when it came back into the middle from Poon, it was the Manly players that were in the position to see it wide, and I think Poon might actually be entitled to ask where was the runner to the far post.
Yeah, he might be entitled indeed. I thought for all money's worth, though, with that first shot from Cassella, if not for, of course, Jesse Perez sliding in at the 11th hour on his left foot, you imagine that the number 10 would score. But incredible defending by Manly. 43 minutes played. If they can get to half-time with this current stalemate intact, they'll be happy with their first half, I'm sure. Competing with the win now as well, but sending it well through that. Rising high as was Calieru. McStay flicking it on, but in the end, only Manly jerseys around to clean up Neuenhoff here. Want to see more of him on the ball and involved. Assert yourself, young Luke, into this one. Lovely there by Stefan de Robillard. This is Pires, a foray forward towards the backstick. Lovely ball! Oh my word, the best chance for Manly of the game. Headed over as he fell over Kakeru Ono. That was a lovely cross by the captain at right back.
Oh, sensational. The whip on the ball, but also the smarts to time his overlapping run, Jesse Pires, and he put it pretty much within reach of Ono, and yes, it did. That could have been, that is yet another chance that goes begging in this game.
Pires, who was around 29, inclusion to the team of the week towards the end of last year, is on track, I would say, for something of the sort similar to today, especially if Manly get a result out of this. The headers that he's won and the know-how he's shown going forward has been great to watch. And that block moments ago on Jaden Cassella was fantastic. Neuenhoff sending it in behind. Half a chance here on 44.5 minutes. Did he win enough of the ball, is the question being asked. No. So, what's the colour of the card? It's going to be yellow. He was a long way from goal, Ayumu Kimura. But he was, in fact, the last man back. It is going to be yellow because it wasn't really the most obvious goal-scoring opportunity. So, in my opinion, a perfectly valid show of the cheese there. The argument being made by Kota Toyuka was that he won enough of the ball there. But as we cross into 45 minutes, Eric, the argument from the referee was, nope, you got too much of the man. 2 minutes to be added to. Wouldn't Manly love a goal right now?
Yeah, but cooking up something. I see Burgess. I think that would be Ono, also over the dead ball. And of course, it's so tricky with this wind to judge your lofted passes. We've seen that in the opening 45 minutes. Might they vary it, try something different? We'll see.
Ball sent in, cleared away by Cito, I do believe. Last moments of this first half into added on time, already 30 seconds into it. Oh, and then a giveaway, which leaves it with a lot of red jerseys, facing not a lot of blue jerseys. True goes to his left towards McStay. Recovered initially, recovered well by Manly. I think that was Matty O'Donoghue, the usual left back in that right side of defence, saving their blushes after a very silly giveaway. It was the Robillard.
Yes. Great stuff from O'Donoghue. I mean, of course, scrambling back from a set piece, position doesn't matter. He got the job done. He got in the way.
Half a chance here on the cusp of halftime in the match of the round. Trivella pass once again, but snuffed out well again, this time by O'Driscoll and Manly. Just want to make sure that they get to halftime with the scoreboard exactly the way it is, at least against them, of course. True, using his body really well, but O'Donoghue's had a really good start, and True showed a bit of frustration there. Can Chipman find one final foray forward? That was legal, and on we go. Perhaps St George Saints want to find the ascendancy towards half-time. And they either give it away. And it's just moments in this game where just the final bit of quality has not quite been there. Testing conditions in the match of the round. I imagine these two teams will adjust coming out of the sheds in half-time, and we'll see some goals in the second. Don't go anywhere, of course.
Of course not. And, just a bit of a warning, possibly the final warning given to Chris McStay. I think I saw some off-the-ball stuff, shall we say, between him and Luka Krijan. And the ref just trying to keep a lid on things as we are seconds before half-time.
This will be the final kick, you imagine, right into the wind. Manly also have been competing with this wind for the entire first half. They'll probably want the wind to stay the way it is as they head out of the sheds into the second, because it'll be in their favour. Really difficult. Look at, again, like the amount of trajectory change that's suffered there is completely detrimental to any moves going forward. And that will certainly come to their help in the second half, which we are now heading towards. Half-time it is here in the match of the round. St George Saints not able to find the opener here at home. Still haven't conceded a goal yet this season, though. Manly have been good, especially on the counter. And what will they be able to do in the second half heading into the wind? Well, only you will be able to find it if you stick around in the second half. Eric, any assessments of this first we should talk about?
It's just really, and we'll get on to the subs when they do come on the field, but there's a lot of good players just waiting for their chance to impact this game for both teams. Also would like to highlight, I think Jasper Chipman has been excellent in midfield for Manly. Doesn't shy out of a tackle, technically gifted, and to think he's still a teenager, he's already building an impressive first-grade resume at Manly.
No, most certainly. It's fantastic to watch. He's probably got captain material written all over him, especially considering that he is a player who joined Manly at the age of 9. Don't go anywhere, guys. Keep your sound on. Keep your screens glued to this page. Half-time between these two, St George and Manly Saints, of course. St George Saints and Manly 0-0. And we'll see you in about 12 minutes or so, and then we'll unpack the start of the second half. time to turn your sound back up. Put your eyes back to the screens. The second half of the NPL match of the round between St George Saints and Manly, which is currently deadlocked at 0-0, set to kick back off momentarily. Both teams have beaten the referees back out onto the pitch. We will see in a moment if there are any two changes any further than what we already know, which is, Eric, and I'll bring you in here, Troy Danaskos is coming on, and it's a big name that's coming off too.
Yes, and not at least from a St George FC perspective, Troy Danaskos, great club man, lots of experience, actually even a bit of A-League experience back in the day. But yeah, Danaskos, such a vital player for this club over the years, especially helping them get promoted into NPL, and at the very least for St George, he is a player that they can rely on.
Fourth official, Oscar Waterson, is the first of the referees out. Hayden Langholtz, the centre referee, out there. Alexis Turner and Lucy Hungerford also here, which means that the second half is just moments away from kicking back off. It'll be the home side then running left to right across your screens. The away side will have the wind in their sails, literally, in this second half. Eric, although the wind has kind of died down the last couple of moments, do you think it could play that much into the contest?
I expect it to liven back up again, and yeah, it's be interesting to see. Love to be a fly on the wall in both dressing rooms in terms of the instructions given to the respective teams, because yeah, it was something that affected the way both teams played.
Underway we are in the second stanza. Mark DePoli here with Eric Subiano for the match of the round. Saints, Manly, deadlocked. Two teams with lots of promise, and lots of promise shown particularly in the first half. St George with their aesthetic beauty, and Manly with their ability to play scything counter-attacking football, at least from what we've seen in the first half. Should that continue in the same kind of fashion in the second? Well, only one way to find out. Thanks to them for being here. And settle back on in as Chris McStay and St George trying to work their way out of their defensive third. I believe that's a bit Danaskos on the far side, having his first touch of the ball since coming on. Troy Danaskos will be in the number 3 jersey. You can easily pick him out. He has replaced Katsuyoshi Kimishima, who will now go past round 5 without his first St George goal. But it was good in parts, the number 14 in that first half. And there is the first moment where a long St George ball has been impacted by that little bit of trail gust. Neuenhoff for Manly, who finds the ball at their feet for the first time in this second half. Burgess trying to get it around the corner, but Caden Wright was right there. True finds the ball, holds up well with the wind into a dangerous area, batted away, and then should be a strike on goal, even with Cassella, and cleared away, even on his right foot. Somehow blocked. Heroic on the line by Manly, and straight out of the blocks, showing the kind of determination that kept them in the game in the first half. Frantic start here at Barton Park. Wow, ball's delivered again. Cassella is there. Header glance across the face. Literally across his face and out for a goal kick. Wow, what a save.
Oh, you'd say, if you count the cross, that's a double save from Mackenzie Seron. That's why our goalkeeping coaches are so big on training their players to get up as quickly as they can after they make a save, because he's blocked the cross and then he was up in a flash to smother the shot from Cassella.
And somehow it remains 0-0. Burgess dropping back in again, trying to get it around the corner. This time the wind has taken it away, and McStay is the beneficiary, and so are St George. Sito to Kalayeru. Looks like Kota Toyuka is occupying this right back slot for the time being. Poon is the one up the line. True was the one who gets a little shirt tug there from Krajan. Blocked there by Luka Krajan and cleared away, although right into a dangerous area again. Surely Cassella onto his left, this time blocked. Then came off him a ricochet, and then finally a clearance. Cassella rising highest against his oppressor. Picked up here by True, who started all of this. Goes down, warrants a free kick. Well done, St George Saints. 48 minutes into this one, not even in fact, and it's already been hotly contested.
Yeah. And St George coming out with renewed impetus. It's an excellent start to the second half for them. They really have the blue jersey scrambling, but to their credit, Manly are really working hard, because they know we've already seen what they can do in attack, and I think maybe for the visitors it's just a case of trying to ride out this storm.
Early call into this second half. Ride out nearly 40 plus more minutes. of St. George onslaught. McStay is free on the edge of the box. There's the first red flag. Cassella delivers it in towards the back stick, flicked on.
Ooh, I think that's True. True flicking it on. He's good leap, but always going to be tricky. You had to move away from the goal just to get a header on it. Then from there on, it's always going to be difficult to score.
Still searching for that first in St. George colours. Manly looking for their first drive into the opposition's half. Not to be yet, at least in possession of the ball. Soros. Toyuka occupying that right-sided centre-back position once again. Danaskos lumping it forward. He'll be 35 this year, but he has got absolutely no doubt around this competition that he still has so much to provide on and off the pitch. Lumped forward by Neuenhoff. Sito winning it twice in quick succession. Danaskos was there again. That's good hold-up work there by Ayumu Kimura. Still trying to battle past 4 St. George jerseys. In strong was O'Driscoll, but Aaron won the ball cleanly. Jasper Chipman, a fan he has in you, Eric. And forward he still comes after beating that midfield line, going down hard though. And now he's out of position. And can True and St. George come forward? It's Cassella with those quick legs. A touch off the head onto his right foot. Can he finish Cassella? What a block again by Siren. Cassella square to Poon, who sends it wide. Manly so quick to recover numbers back. Cassella, it didn't fall to his right side, which is technically his left. And unfortunately, the chance goes begging again.
Brilliant stuff from Siron. Made himself big, stood up as long as he can, and I think with his body weight going slightly to his left, he stuck out the right arm and made an excellent stop.
Oh, Mackenzie Siron against the club which he left in the off-season to join his current employers. Having a game where he says, do you already miss me? Lovely work there by Neuenhoff. Forward comes Ono. Burgess out of the sky on his right, competing there. It's Soros. I should say Soros, forgive me. The Robillard wants to have an impact in this second half, I'm sure. Chipman, just a little bit to the right of the mark, and in the end, they lost their momentum in that attacking foray. Crossfield switch. Can it hold up nicely? It cannot. Too much there for Matty O'Donoghue. Picked up 4 assists last year as he ventured forward, perhaps hoping to get across into the box and make a first one of the season. Not to be. Funnily enough, for Manly's 3 goals this season, scored by Darcy Burgess, Luke Neuenhoff, and Martinello, of course. No registered assist men on the end of the final ball to any of them. They've been drops in the box that have come off opposition jerseys, so technically no one has received an assist. That ball is held up well. He is onside. True, he's not onside. Either way, Siron makes another save in this second half, though True probably wasn't trying too hard.
Yes.
That, obviously the referee has the best angle. From my angle, which was of course impeded at probably about 35 degrees, it looked very tight, but she raised her flag straight away.
Very tight, but actually it did catch it on your laptop just now, Mark, and I reckon he's just about straight offside. Like, we're talking half a yard, maybe less. And Lucy Hungerford, as you said, right in line.
Well, in that case, then the criticism needs to be, how could you have 10 yards of space in 360 degrees around you and not be onside? That's a coach killer, that one. True will be perhaps left wondering what could have been in that moment there. Although still a long time for him to get another chance to rectify that little moment of madness. Had to hold his run. He's putting his back into O'Driscoll here, and he's got past 2, but not the sliding challenge of Luke Neuenhoff there, who is growing into this game more and more, is Lukey. Throw in taken by St. George quickly, and they triangle their way out of this one. Up into True now, who's the 4th person to touch the ball in a matter of seconds, and I think that was McStay who was getting involved there and gave it away. Burgess, he then turns on a dime. He's been good all game. Stefan de Robillard, in his first start since joining from Sydney United, where he spent 2 seasons at the Mauritian International, goes back behind his own halfway line. Luka Krajan receives the bounce there from Ono, I do believe. And this is Ono, who had a great chance in that first half. He runs square before bouncing there with Nieuwenhof. And again, Luka Krajan, who's only 22 this year. Plenty of time left before he develops into a fully formed centre-back. Although given away there by O'Driscoll. Fed in behind. This is True. Krajan has to be careful. True. He got his pass wrong. And in the end, Mackenzie Siron will have the easiest claim of the night as he sends this out wide to Matthew O'Donoghue. A chance with space ahead of him. He crosses the halfway line. Keep going forward. Instead, he cuts the ball back inside. A square pass to Darcy Burgess, who slows it down. There's a runner in behind on the far side, opting not to play that searching ball across the green. Nieuwenhof. And they're holding it in their own half right now. Krajan. This is Burgess again. Nice little triangle made here with Nieuwenhof on the receiving end. Running in behind is the left back, but snuffed out well. And a wry smile by Chris McStay, who knew he read that perfectly well. 54 minutes into this one, 9 minutes into the second half. Running square is Nieuwenhof, laying it off to Jasper Chipman. Losing it was de Robillard with the pressure coming from behind him. Jesse Pires sending that one searching forward towards Burgess, who's clipped it first time out wide. Sito is beaten to the ball by de Robillard. And then cleared away by Tuyuka. Into touch. Throw in it will be for the Blues. Better by Manly. They're growing into this second half now after a couple of early scares. After the first whistle of the second stanza. So, a drying of the ball.
Oh.
And so Jesse Pires is going to do his best Michael Coyote impression, perhaps. In it comes. Headed into a dangerous area. Poon is there for St. George. Burgess was threatening. And a pot shot. Well, it was only about 5 yards over the goal, but it never looked like coming down, unfortunately. Lots of power behind it. Lots of oomph, I believe, by Nieuwenhof. Soros receives from his own goal kick. Sending it out wide. Sito. Danaskos clipping the ball inside the corridor to find Cassella, who then clips it back out wide to the now captain. Sending it in behind True. Was he onside? No need. No flag raised. He'll wonder, but that's 2 moments there where he hasn't quite held his run just about enough. Nieuwenhof with about 10 yards of space in front of him. He plays it second time asking to... Oh, no. O'Donoghue with a curling pass in, but really well read there by Calieru. That was really well done by Nicholas Calieru. Spent 8 years at Northern Tigers before coming across. Now he's on the precipice of reaching his, or receiving his 5-year jacket from the club. And to the subs bench we go. So Manly will take off Stefan de Robillard. His first start of the season is cut at 56 minutes and 1 second.
And it's going to look like Benjamin Coop. Manly number 9 is about to come on. I expect this to be pretty much a straight swap. Ben Coop, very direct runner, very fast, and I think, good play to bring on at this stage of the game against players who are starting to tire.
Scored in round 1 last year, and can you guess who their round 1 opponent was last year? St. George Saints. So, he's got a handy little knack of scoring against these guys. Robillard off. Benjamin Coop on, 6th year at the club. At least in the first grade space, that is. Cleared away by Soros. Welcome to the pitch, the hard-running Benjamin Coop. They're going to try and win this game. So I know you mentioned that they might want to sit in and hold, but they're not going to do that. They're opting not to do that, which I think is great for the contest that is the match of the round. Danaskos running real hard as Siron, against his former captain, gives the ball away to Cassella. Picked up here by Manly's captain in Pires, who then clips this expertly out wide. What's the touch like by Ono? Oh, no.
Yeah, but again, I reckon the wind's played a factor there. That's unlucky for both Pires and Ono because that was a great ball from the Manly skipper.
"21 games played last year for Benjamin Coop. 9 of those starts, returning 7 goals, which is a pretty good record if you look at the starts particularly. It's another game today where it won't be a start next to his name, but the impact that he has is in the technical, not so much in the technical ability, but more in the hard working, the heart of the front line they describe him as. Speaking about the ways clubs describe and look after their players, how good is the match day experience from St. George Saints, by the way? This match day, what's the word I'm looking for? This program, match day program, which also features a 1,000 word description of Soros's 100 games for the club. is just brilliant. And well done to the media team and Matchday Experience team for putting this all together. Darcy Burgess on the edge of the box, feeding it behind! And then a pot shot, a goal, renders something of a medium difficulty save for Soros, who slows things down. But how good is that Matchday program, by the way? It's really fantastic. They clearly care about making sure people know their players.
Yeah, and of course it fits in with like a broader, how could you put this, a refresh of the image of this club. They're back here on this side, of course, at a venue they can call home instead of having to rent a ground off another team. And yeah, it's got everything. There's plenty of fields here. I've actually been lucky enough to be here midweek, and you've got multiple fields going with kids of all ages training. And yeah, it's just a great place for one of the most historic names in Australian football, St. George FC.
For me, it's a place as well where parents should bring their young kids, even if they are particularly young, because they can just say, hey, look over there, there's planes taking off. And as a kid, that would have certainly tempted me to distract me for a 90-minute football match. Out wide this goes. Danaskos, who's just come on at half-time. He lines one up from distance, a stinging save. It came off the chest or even the neck of Siron. That'll hurt in the morning. Certainly, as the block comes in from McStay. Hard hustle by the former Wollongong man, who tried to keep it under the line. He said he was being forced illegally and not to be. A change afoot again. Manly are going to use 2 interchange blocks in a matter of 5 minutes.
So this looks like a straight swap. The 3 and 15 on the board. So Matthew O'Donoghue making way for a fellow left-footed defender, Max Martinello.
Yep, so O'Donoghue, much like the man playing up the line from him earlier, that was just subbed off as well into Robillard, his first start of the season is going to be cut short before the hour mark. And the man who scored the one and only goal and the winner, of course, in round 1, Max Martinello, comes onto the pitch. Welcome to the match of the round. Another one who's made his way up from 20s into first grade. Martinello takes the throw in as his first contribution of the game. It's a super long one. Well, that'll be something that comes into play, I'm sure, as the game goes on. Oh, a little awkward there from Aaron O'Driscoll. This is Martinello's first left-footed touch of the game, and it goes into touch. That's a bit of a, hey, I'm still warming up. His first non-start of the season for Max Martinello, who's still trying to lock down that first-grade spot full-time. Really had that breakout year last year where he made a handful of them. He's also got a C licence diploma from Football Australia. Coaches in the youth system here. He's been a coach of the 9s, now under 10s in the JDL, which is really, really nice, giving back to the club, which has given him a lot too. Oh no. Well blocked there by Caden Wright, who's been good tonight. True. Turning. Krajan knew he was going to be a threat, so he tried to slow him down. Cassella. Krajan living on the edge, but he wins the ball. Fantastic to watch. Danaskos picks it back up, beats the referee, but beats his own players too. Ono was the one who was the beneficiary. And it comes out here wide, and Krajan is the one who's come out worse for wear from there. Martinello now runs square. He looked sharp to the game already after that first loose pass. He's making a foray forward, by the way. Yeah, Krajan still not quite looking all that well, coming out of that challenge a couple of moments ago. Head over haunches there. Martinello. You're right, it's the left-footed swap for the left-footed swap at fullback. Isn't that handy to have?
Yes. It's always, teams love to have left-footed defenders so they can, it gives them a more balanced way to play out from the back.
1 hour and 1 minute, now 2 minutes eclipsed here in the match of the round, which is desperate for that first goal. And St. George now, on 62 minutes, are going to make another change. Of course, they made their first at the halftime block. Jake True's 5th consecutive start and hunt for a goal will have to remain. It is a change.
Harrison Farrow.
So, the super sub of all super subs this season. 2 goals off of the bench. 2 goals in 96 minutes of football in what will count as 4 appearances, but more importantly, in just 96 minutes. That is a borderline world-class return. Oh, Neuenhoff, not sure if he meant that, but geez, it looked good on camera. Krajan has recovered in the last couple of minutes to look a little better off after that coming together where he looked worse for wear. Neither side able to really put their foot in the ball in the last couple of seconds as players who have come off the bench adjust to their new positions. Picked up here by Danaskos, who ran into the central channel of the pitch and O'Driscoll will watch this go all the way back to his goalkeeper. Made sure to put it onto his left-hand side as he cleared it away. Siron on his stronger left-hand side, that is. Caden right, got the header wrong. Burgess crosses the halfway line, sending this one out wide. Picked up there by Kimura for the first time of real note in the second half. Barely been able to see the right winger come striker in this second half. A cross-field switch of play towards the recently subbed on Max Martinelli. Can he keep it in? No, he can't.
And a rather unfavourable bounce off the grass. Martinelli tried his best, but the ball just skipping even over his head.
Whatever St George have changed, even if it's just by a couple of yards with the starting position, it has nullified those Manly counter-attacks which were reaping rewards. Whatever Raphael said at half-time has all but shut off Manly's ventures forward. Yet to create a chance in these 20 minutes out of the second half. How will the subs potentially change that? Poon defending for St George. And the Super Saint sends it away. There is Harrison Farrow, similar to how he scored his winner against Sutherland. Oh, two Manly players coming together there. Hitting the ground hard is Neuenhoff. And this is Jaden Cassella, who shifts onto his left. There's a back post runner. He tries to find him. It's Farrow there as well. It's recycled by Cito. Cito still onto his left, being tracked by his opposite number. Cito, one way than the other, slows the move down a bit. Danaskos trying to keep it alive, and back they go towards the halfway line. Manly have survived another St George Saints scare. Caden Wright. This is Chris McStay. Father made 650 appearances for Celtic and was the captain. More than 70 caps for Scotland as well. Footballing blood is strong in the McStays. That is the Celtic, by the way. Lovely ball. Danaskos snuffed out. That was really well read by Ayumu Kimura in the number 11 jersey. The winger slash striker tonight doing defensive work in the right side of his own defence. 66 minutes almost played, still deadlocked. An hour and a bit of football, no goals, but gee, we've come close a couple of times. That's Harry Farrow turning. And he sends it towards his own midfield, and eventually they spread it out wide to Justin Poon. Justin Poon, a good ball in, is allowed to bounce somehow. Oh, first lesson of defending. Don't allow that first ball to bounce. It bounced once, then twice, and eventually trickled all the way out for a goal kick.
Yeah, two runners at the back post there. We might catch that in the replay on your laptop in just a moment, Mark. But Manly not uncharacteristically passive when defending across, and Farrow's one of them. Maybe Cassella, maybe someone else, the second player, and neither of them able to take advantage of that great ball from Justin Poon.
Not in terms of in-game minutes, but do you remember when about half an hour ago as we approached half-time, when I said Cassella had come out of a challenge a little gingerly when he created an opportunity? Yes, he's now gone down again. And on 66 minutes, one of the best players in the comp has gone down with the competition watching this match of the round, with the fans watching and wondering. The home crowd here will be hoping that he's okay, because he's been lively as per usual.
Yes.
His minimum standard is a 7 out of 10. And I reckon he would find that offensive too. And fair enough. Cracker player. But he's in some kind of discomfort right now. And he's being stretched on what looks like his groin.
Ooh, possibly. I think you're right, Mark. And the signal, the universal signal for substitute has come out from the physio, so this is unfortunate. Terrible luck for Jaden Cassella, and Raphael Marie will have to cook up a substitution. A fairly quick smart. Also, for what it's worth, Manly, I think, are about to prepare a double substitution.
Well, that'll be their last window, so they're only going to make 4 subs here today. Cassella is up, walking, but he is off. That is his number done, and that looks like Javier Rodriguez coming onto the pitch. Javier, who's 21 this year, a real young'un. Was the club's 20s player of the year last year. Cassella makes his way to the nearest boundary. His night is done. That is of real concern. Changes a foot as well. Ono comes off for Manly.
So that Manly double sub, I hope I've read the board correctly. It is Luka Kruzan and Kakeru Ono off. They will be replaced by Saxon Hillier, number 6 for Manly, and number 14, who is Max Walker.
Hillier, who of course was starting as recently as last week, is back onto the pitch, this time preferred as a sub. Another one of those youngsters who's made their way all the way through the system to the top, which is a fantastic ode to what Manly are all about, supporting their local talent, developing them through the ranks. I think Kruzan, though, his substitution is likely the result of that injury that he looked to have sustained when he made 2 tackles that were living right on the edge of the cheese about 10 minutes ago. Anyway, let's see how all that changes as Benjamin Cooper's beaten off the ball. Caden Wright keeps that in, and he dinks it inwards. Picked up there by Harrison Farrow, who is so quick. But in that moment, he gave the ball away with his back to goal. McStay, Trivella passing behind, and Farrow, might get there if he's not blocked off the ball. Not enough contact there, says the referee. And on we go. Farrow was looking for that one, perhaps, was the suggestion. Hard to lip read from this far out. Javier Rodriguez is the one pressing, who's just come on for Jaden Cassella. Very different, very energised front line now for St. George. Hard runners. Danaskos is involved. Threatening was Farrow. Back towards Danaskos from Manly's clearance. It'll be a throw. Danaskos takes quickly. Was peeled back in, but off of a red jersey was the call from the ref, and on 70 minutes, it is a goal kick, and it is still deadlocked here at Bard.
So as I look at how Manly have rearranged after that double sub, so I think Walker being the swap for Ono, and Walker moving over to the right wing, being in attack. It's funny because I know him more as a defender, but Max Walker showing he's got many strings to his bow. And I thought so Saxon Hillier in his usual central midfield position for Manly, meaning I think Luke Neuenhoff has dropped to centre back alongside Aaron O'Driscoll.
Indeed he has. Great pickup immediately from you, Eric. Hillier, the 6, wearing the number 6. That's a tick of the box for me. Not going to see Kai Evans here tonight for Manly, that means. He made 3 consecutive starts. Another one of those boyhood club members who's come all the way through. There's a real chance here as they cross the halfway line. And Manly come forward for the first time of note in the last 10 minutes or so. Kimura, who's been on the game on the pitch the whole time, goes down under a challenge. Referee said once again, like Farrow just a couple of minutes ago, that was far too easy. Got to go down into more contact. And we saw what rendered as a no foul really early in the game with that sliding challenge from O'Donoghue. You might remember it for that tackle on Saurus, of course. That right there is not going to bring about the referee's whistle. So the long throw is about to come in. And it is a long throw. And it's up in the air. I think that was Coop who won that one. Kimura is there. In fact, it was Neuenhoff in the box who won the first ball. Cleared away by St. George. Farrow is there. Touch a little bit away from him. Burgess again trying to tuck it around that corridor as he's so well known for. It's a 2v1. This perhaps to win the match of the round. It's a good ball, at least to Poon, who keeps it alive. Can he keep the move going quickly into the box and pass one and across the face of goal? Missed everybody and out for a throw. And another moment of how close are they going to get before finding the elusive first.
Again, it's Justin Poon with a dangerous ball into the middle from the right-hand side. Great zip on that low cross, and Danaskos, he couldn't have been too far away as he surged towards the near post to try and get the telling touch.
Manly have to defend as they are boxed in from their own throw. They've been able to keep it. Lovely work. Pires been monstrous this evening. Header on by Jaden Cito. He's put back under pressure by his own teammate there. Manly are the beneficiaries. Chipman, I believe. A sliding challenge was expert there by Burgess. And then eventually sent away. Good touch there by Vladimir Knezovic. Both teams making substitutions that indicate they want to win this game. St. George are approaching their 10th half of football without their goal being penetrated. They've done so with a change of goalkeeper as well between round 1 and 2. And that is becoming a record a statistic in this competition that I reckon they're going to be known by throughout the entire season. They are on lock in 2026. Mark Topoli here with Eric Subahano, bringing you this match of the round in NPL New South Wales. Deadlock between the Saints and Manly. A game waiting for a moment of individual brilliance, I think. That would be my prediction. Oh, half a chance here. And forward come Manly. Sito does well. Good defending in the end.
Yeah, well, it was Max Walker coming in off the long run, and I think got to within about 10 yards of the goal. He wanted to shoot, but the defensive intervention has led to a Manly corner.
Wow. Manly, perhaps with a chance to do something that nobody has done this season and beat this St. George backline. The wind will be helping them. It swings in. It's gone towards the back stick. It's cleared away by McStay. He's saying the last touch was not off him. It will be consecutive corners, but from other ends of the pitch.
You know what? McStay, the slight height disadvantage against O'Driscoll, but a good jump for the defensive header there.
So this will be swung in once again. Left foot on the other side. This time it's a righter. And again, it'll be going into the wind. Soros has to be so clear with his defense right now. Difficult ball, punched away somewhat, and then, oh my word, I think it was Pires. Yeah. Well, it's going to be consecutive corners thrice over. That is the closest anybody has come in a Manly jersey since Ono in about the 35th minute. They've got some tall figures. Is this the moment on 75 minutes, Eric, in the match of the round, with Manly looking to relaunch their season? A tough opening schedule for them. Another good ball in towards the front post. It's cleared away. Good work there in defence by St. George. Manly trying to keep it alive through Benny Coop. Evan Soros hustled hard there. And now the number 8 is the one who's leading the press, and cleared away by Siren. It's a hunting ball forward. Caliero has to be careful. He is, as Kimura closes him down. Caden Wright. St. George under a bit of duress here, perhaps, at home. Throw in taken. Bounce back by Coop. Martinello to Burgess, who's been good all evening. Still Darcy Burgess. Don't give him too much time to find the pass. Slowing it down. Really slowed down here. Saxon Hillier picking up the ball on this near side. Lovely triangles here. This is better by Manly. Kimura. Bounce back to Kimura. Got the body angle wrong. Goal kick. Eric, sustained pressure by the away team.
That's impressive, especially away from home. Of course, must remember, a bit of a more unusual experience for Manly. A team with a synthetic surface on their home ground. Of course, it's a different experience playing on grass, but they've adjusted well to these conditions, and they're having a good spell.
Cleared away by Tuyuka. One there by Martinello. Hillier sends it forward. Coop is there. Manly are the ones playing that first half St. George football. Crossfield switch by Martinello. I think that was Max on that far side. Max Walker. Half a chance here for Farrow, who lays it off. And now sending behind Farrow. Great touch by Neuenhoff. The auxiliary centre-back plugged into a gap with troops down and harmed. Has just potentially saved a match of the round winning moment. Hillier bouncing it back to Kimura. Dictating players, one of the most experienced players out on this pitch now for Manly. Back this goes to Siren. Here to Aaron O'Driscoll. Neuenhoff wondering which way to go. St. George's presses comes in. Lovely work. Past McStay. Really lovely. And now he'll go for a crossfield switch of play, of which that surname is known so well for. Looked like a foul. Not going to be given. Referee holds, giving away a free kick. Trying to let this game play on. Hillier sending it forward to Coop. Coop off of the bench, sending it out wide. Manly holding a lot of territory right now. Pires forward, sitting it in behind. Half a chance here for Manly. Back heel, delivered in towards the back stick. Nicely done there. Is that a high foot?
Yeah, indirect free kick. High foot called against Max Martinello.
Poor Martinello, robbed of a potential opportunity to get his second goal of the season. But he had no queries or questions to ask of the referee there. Touching down on the last 10 minutes of an exciting match of the round, despite the lack of the net being busted open by either side, which is a really complex way of saying it's a stalemate that has been exciting. Right on the halfway line, Farrow picks it up with O'Driscoll behind him. Great show of pace by Kimura up against McStay. These two have been monstrous in a 80-minute performance of lots of hard running in round 5 in the match of the round. Manly looking like the ones more likely as they close out this game. So far, the better of the two. St. George and their perfect defensive record so far, nearly a completed 5 rounds into this NPL New South Wales season. Are they going to have their duct broken? St. George win it back and clear it away. Just really strong work by Farrow. Neuenhoff holding his shirt, as is Farrow holding the others. Hillier. This is nicely done by Hillier as he's grabbed and pulled and he turns so well. Oh, he's showing experience beyond his years there. Lovely work there by Saxon Hillier. Love to see that. First year back after spending last year at the Western Sydney Wanderers. Oh, crossfield switch of play. Beautiful to find Chipman, who's offside. Unfortunate moment for the youngster. Another one who's had a really good game in the middle of Manly's midfield. We are inside almost the last 10 minutes of this one. The wind has picked up hugely in the last minute or so. Deadlocked. Will there be a winner in this one? Cleared away with a lot of backspin. It's Farrow contesting with Neuenhoff again. Sent away by Max Martinello. Well won there by Calero. Danascos inside. Javier Rodriguez in that 23 jersey. This is Calero again. Calero crossing the halfway line. Justin Poon, another one who's lasted the entire game. A tireless game. A game for the fittest. St. George now trying to put their foot on the ball after the last 10 minutes where they've been under the pump. Competing against the wind as well, might I add. Caden Wright got a little push in the back after bouncing that back to Toyuka about 10 seconds ago. Wasn't happy with that. Half a bit of whiplash, I'm sure. Javier Rodriguez, who replaced Jaden Cassella. Finding Farrow, sliding in was O'Driscoll, who's now out of position, and Farrow was threatening. Not to be. Manly now 4-way forward. Burgess approaching the halfway line with options to his left. He goes to, and then it's lost by Ayumu Kimura. Justin Poon. What a time it would be for him to get his first goal of the season. Justin Poon laying it off to Chris McStay, who has a goal to his name. In towards Poon, cleared away by Neuenhoff. 8.5 minutes to go. Caden Wright got a goal last week. What about this one? Saurus on cap 101. Sito sending it wide. McStay, the new man, keeps it in off his forehead. He delivers a curling ball in. Easy claim for Siron in goal. 8 minutes exactly to go. Hillier wins a free kick. He's been so good off the bench to watch. Down has gone Jasper Chipman. So maybe he had a bit of momentum taken out of his match fit sales with the 1 week off last week because he's feeling cramps. He's only going to be 19 this year. So you would have to say, not one you would expect to cramp up in minute 80, but he's run very, very hard today.
He has indeed. It's been a very keenly fought game, especially in the centre of the park. And you know what, actually this might be an opportunity. I see some of the players taking a quick drink for one final push for both teams. It might be a chance for some late instructions from the coaches.
Well, there's also no subs for Manly.
Yes.
So those 3 windows have been used, and that's why I questioned when they made 2 subs. in the space of about 5 minutes between minute 52 and minute 59.
Yes.
And as a result, Chipman either has to play with one leg or they have to play with 10 men. So let's see what Manly cook up. They're down to 10 currently against the St George team who love to use the ball. But Manly have been the ones that have worked themselves into the game from a possession perspective. They're missing that man to pick up the ball in Chipman, and Siron on his right foot, he's able to clear it away well.
Ooh,
into the stands. Good save by one of the Speckies. Kalayeru.
The ball's actually rebounded back onto the field. An enterprising ball kid is going to make sure that second ball is removed promptly.
Ascos gave it away, sliding in challenge from Pires. Oh my word, a strong gust of wind. But forward come Manly and sending it out wide. And Pires sliding in really, really well was Danaskos tracking back. Captain on captain, 3 on 4. Good ball in though! Kimura was there! And he headed it across the face of goal. Max Martinello picks it up. He's left-footed. Don't forget it. Can he deliver the right ball in? At the back stick is a free blue shirt. Easy in the end for Nicholas Soros, the 27-year-old. And now goes down Jesse Pires. I imagine there's going to be a bit of stop-start in the last moments of this game, which means it'll creep on further into the night.
Yes.
As the referee's forced to add on some time. 84.5 minutes played right now.
Yes, and Jesse Pires, it's not often you see this from him, but I suppose that does show the intensity where this game has been played pretty much from the opening whistle. Good to see he's back up to his feet fairly quickly, so I imagine he's, off the field for 2 seconds and then wave back on?
You can imagine that will be the case. 85 minutes, about to pass on by. 5 left of the regular. I reckon 4 to be added on.
Yeah,
Give us at least 10 more minutes in the match of the round or so. Pires forced back off the pitch. He wants to get back on as quick as possible. I think he's now back on. Toyuka has been strong again this week. Soros, who interviewed by the club, said that Juan Mata took his place in Melbourne Victory's team over him in a trial that he had. Juan Mata, who's just opened the scoring in the Big Blue against Sydney FC. This is Chris McStay. Hugging this right touchline. Burgess gets a foot in. Burgess gets a second foot in. McStay might be forced to foul him here. Burgess has done so well. Past Caden Wright as well. Burgess still going, shirt pull. And then a kick of the ball away. That'll be a yellow for the Scotsman. McStay pleading his case. It's going to fall on deaf ears though. Yellow administered, I should say. Chris McStay. Runs his own coaching academy. Maestro Football Development. So on 86 and a bit minutes, might this be the moment for Hillier? The lefty off the bench delivers in a searching ball. It looks a little bit too deep. It's way too deep. It goes out for a goal kick. 86.5 minutes played in this match of the round. Goalless between the Saints and Manly. Manly grown into the game with every sub and every minute, showing their fitness. But look at this foray forward. Oh. Clearly a professional foul by Jasper Chipman. That'll be another yellow card in quick succession, this time from the Reds to the Blues.
And Jasper Chipman potentially taking one for the team there. Of course, he is just back from suspension, but felt like it was worth getting booked at this late stage rather than seeing whatever St. George would have done from that opportunity. But set piece coming up for the home side.
This time on 87 minutes in the match of the round. A 2-man wall to beat. Chris McStay, I believe.
Yes.
Was just cautioned. Has he got that bit between his teeth? A very composed Siron in goal. McStay with 2 hands on his hips. 87.5 played. He's asking, is the wall too close, sir? Chris McStay. From way out. Dinks it in. Good looking ball, but cleared away. Kalageru gives away a free kick. That might be the 3rd yellow card in 90 seconds. It is.
Yeah.
but he's blocked a certain Manly counter-attack, which we saw from the first half in what was the way they wanted to play. Can be real cutting. Darcy Burgess was the one who suffered that bump from Kalieru.
Yes. And I think similar to the Chipman booking, Kalieru thinking, at this late stage, yellow card to prevent any chance of a counter-attack while we're not set. A good transaction. So,
certainly. It's his birthday next week. He's got a yellow card to carry into it.
Yes.
That's his third in 5 games. On the precipice of a suspension. 2 away. 88.5 minutes played. Sent forward, Siren. Goal kick. Hashed way too long. Played quickly there by St. George. I'd imagine that's Sito on the far side. And now he launches it forward with inside 90 seconds left to go of the regular 90. Jesse Pires was looking a little worse for wear as he trudged into position there. What a shift it's been for the 26-year-old. Burgess, he's been so good, and especially in this second half, he's really, really used his brilliant ability to shield the ball, although they might put themselves under a bit of pressure here. Soros clears it away into the night sky. Past the halfway line, Martinello rising highest up against Poon. Max Walker's been lively down that far side for Manly.
Value of fresh legs and just really good persistency. He's even affecting the St. George FC attempts to play out from the back now.
Indeed he is. A couple of little Trivella clips first time. First by Soros, then by Danaskos. McStay giving away the ball. Has to be really careful here.
Playing the ball on the ground. Called against Helio.
So, Manly have conceded a free kick. Great pick up by the referee.
Yes.
10 seconds away from the end of regular time here at Barton Park. The match of the round lacking a goal but not lacking action. Mark Topoli here with Eric Subohano. Thanks so much for joining us up to this point. Stick around because surely there's at least one more chance in this. How much time added on? A little bit further out than what St. George had a couple of moments ago.
A minimum of 5 minutes.
5 it looks like.
Time, yeah.
So we get what we want. Dinked in again. Cleared away by Martinello, I believe. Recycled here by Farrow. Tries to get past his man, then he pulled his jersey. And he pulled his jersey again. In the end, Martinello kept his composure and wins a throw-in. Nicely done. Two Hilliers on the bench, by the way, for Manly.
Yes.
Saxon on. Zachary in the 25, not on the pitch here this evening. McStay forward. Neuenhoff with a loose clearance, but it works out just okay. Burgess is being trudged back, facing his own goal. Neuenhoff onto his weaker left-hand side is forced to put it into touch. St. George about a minute into the added-on 5, trying to play it quickly. McStay, is there a winner in the match of the round? Both teams will be wondering, do we have what it takes to win it? Caden Wright got the winner last week. Can he provide one, perhaps? McStay delivers a good ball in towards the back. There it is! Did it go past the line? It did not! Danaskos off the bench, nearly the hero. Superb clearance. Manly survived the greatest scare of the game. Oh, a foot raise on the face of Caliero. And now Manly come forward. Hillier, they have the advantage in numbers. St. George track back quickly from distance. Chipman, the youngster, blocked. He'll get a second bite of the cherry. His captain off to the right. Delivered in. Claimed. Heat taken out of the moment. 2 minutes into the added-on time. Hands on heads in the technical area. The fans have been brought to life in these last 5 minutes. What a moment, Eric, on the line.
Yeah, I think that was Siren again, possibly with help from one of his defenders to complete the clearance, but Siren with the heroics to deny his former teammate. St. George trying again.
Saurus with a great one forward. It's Farrow, the hero, the superstar. Has he done it? He has! Farrow is the greatest player of all time off the bench. He is the man. He is fantastic. He is St. George's superb super sub. He is the hero. He is the youngster that has made his way up. He is the man to be relied upon off the bench. He is so clinical, so clutch. 120 minutes played, 3 goals for St. George. And St. George have just seconds left where they will find the final whistle brings about their 5th straight win and their 5th straight clean sheet. But it's in no small part to the brilliance of this kid Farrow off the bench. He is dynamite.
What a great run sneaking in on the blind side of the defender, and he showed his power to get in behind, but then the deftest of touches with the outside of his right boot, rolling it past Mackenzie Seren, who has been heroic this evening, and that looks to be it, but there's still a little bit of time for Manly to do something quite unlikely.
Oh, he's so good. But the work of Saurus in the build-up there, he ran from auxiliary centre-back forward. Maybe Burgess has a final thing to say. Martinello, surely not in the match of the round. Will there be another twist in this incredible tale? Down go 2, 1 from each side. And are you okay from Coop? And on we go. And now a right foot being stretched. What a moment in the match of the round. That's what it's all about. Sora sending it out wide. I think it was Danaskos who delivered. What a ball that was to Farrow. In a game that required some individual brilliance, it was first Saurus, created a triangle out wide with his captain, who then put the perfect through pass to Farrow, and the kid was composed.
And the value of having quality off the bench, 2 substitutes combining for what looks to be the winner at this point. And yes, having that quality, Danaskos and Farrow getting the job done. St. George FC, I think a couple of minutes away. We're nearly had the 5 minutes time added on. There's going to be a bit more, of course. I think it was Kalajeru who needed some treatment. He'll have to be off the field. Oh, no, sorry, Evan Souris, who will be jogging off the field after receiving treatment.
And he will again. Yes.
But yeah, St. George nearly home for another 3 points.
Farrow was the club's Golden Boot winner as a youngster back in 2024. He was still here last year. In the off-season, he went overseas. He played in Germany for Minershagen. Whatever he learnt in Minershagen has turned him into the most potent frontline man in the entire league, and especially off the bench, although Manly are trying. We are past the 5 minutes, by the way, and Farrow's in behind again. Will it fall kindly for the man who seems to be getting everything and turning it into goals? He tries to turn provider this time, but finally something goes wrong for him. He's just 19, by the way. Javier Rodriguez sends this out wide. Caden Wright, what a game he's had. The ultimate inverted fullback. Farrow, the hero, closing down on Burgess, who turns. Manly, this might be it. 1-0 in the match of the round. It is courtesy of a stoppage time winner at the moment, it seems, from Farrow. Manly crossed the halfway line through Chipman. Well won there out wide. Danaskos tracking back. A sub a foot.
So that's Saurus. They've decided not to risk him. He's not 100%. They still got a window. That will be Mark Rodic. Actually, good player to come on for however many seconds we have left. Mark Rodic, never seen a 50-50. He didn't think he could win.
A superb player, 27 years old, fully composed. His frontal lobe is developed. Still yet to get a sub as he's returned back to full shape. Rodic on to see out the match of the round. I can hear a timer going off around me. Oh, Manly perhaps to get back in.
Oh, that's a tackle.
A tackle at the 11th hour and 59th minute.
Is that Toyuka?
I think Toyuka has just saved what was a certain equaliser on Kimura. Another St. George Saint goes down. We are now touching on 7.5 minutes past what was initially an added on 5. Hopefully everyone in St. George colours are okay. Martinello is going to have to launch in the longest throw of his life. And Manly are going to have to put the bravest of heads onto this ball. But in the meantime, huge concern here in back play. Let's have a look.
McStay, he's just getting up now.
Okay, so McStay got a loose ball that bounced off of the back of a Manly player and up into his nose, and that's
a sore one.
On a night that's getting colder by the moment, is a sore one. It stings. Right, back into the action. Martinello has to deliver A seriously lengthy throw. All hands on deck for St. George. All numbers forward by the keeper for Manly. It's cleared away by St. George. On the edge of the box is Darcy Burgess. Hashed over the bar. Although it took a touch. Not hashed at all. It was a good shot that required a deflection.
Mackenzie Siron wants to go up for this corner. He's
Siron's
waiting for the
come
signal. He's
forward.
going.
This is the match of the round to put your eyes on around Australia. Siron has come forward. Manly looking to recharge their season, looking to find the first goal of the season against St. George Saints. Are they going to find it now? An outswinger will compete with the wind. All Manly numbers forward, headed on by Siron, who won it. Goal kick over by the goalkeeper. That's it! What a contest! What a contest! Decided by a teenage sensation who, you would have to say, the ceiling is limitless for him. What composure from Harrison Farrow off the bench again for his third goal in 120 odd minutes to win the match of the round, and the defensive performance shown in the second half especially, that they show that when the momentum comes out of the game, St. George can still hold firm. 5 clean sheets.
5 clean sheets. That is quite the achievement for Raphael Marie's side, and Harrison Farrow giving the match of the round the ending that such a big game deserves. Sensational work once again. There we go, St. George. They are absolutely flying at the moment, Mark.
St. George, they're flying, but my word, they're out on their feet right now. Those boys worked so hard. The status of Sydney United as the top team of the pile, we will have to see as time goes on. But I just cannot even fathom right now how crucial this could be in the context of St. George's season.
Yes,
they've shown... Sorry, I'll let you go off that.
Like, we've seen this, like, you never know. We see things at the end of a season decided by a handful of points, but the difference, and we've seen this, and the difference Harrison Farrow's late goals are providing us what? With at least 4 points, because there's tonight in the game against Sutherland. Who knows that those 4 extra points could be crucial at the end of the season, Mark.
Certainly it could be. Well, in fact, I'll say it would be 6 because it was a winner against Sutherland.
Yes, 6. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So his 3 goals returning 6 points for all the good work that Vladimir Knezevic's side has just put on, especially in an improved second half with good substitutions. That must hurt, and physically those players are hurting. What a contest. I'm just so proud to have been here for it. Forward goes St. George to face Sydney Olympic on the road next Saturday for Manly United to recover after 2 losses on the bounce. It'll be the Western Sydney Wanderers back at Cromer, who are, of course, a tough team to play against, considering they play good football, but they've shown Manly what they can do. I don't think that Manly had a bad performance out there. St. George have shown what they're all about, though. They've shown that when the chips are down and at times when momentum is taken away from them, they can still hold on in games. And it's that kind of defensive sturdiness that could bring them some silverware this season.
Yes, and can't forget, they did lose their captain, their talismanic attacker, Jaden Cassella. An unplanned substitution that needed to be made due to injury, but it is a squad game, as you know, Mark, and when you've got not just a strong starting 11, but players off the bench who can make the difference, you can go a long way in this competition.
Well, my passing comment will be, Raphael Murray, what you have deciphered this season with your exceptional blend of high-quality talent and budding youngsters. You yourself are a young coach, despite your decades of experience. What a fantastic man and managerial mind you've already showed us in these first 5 rounds. Long may it continue from an entertainment perspective. We have a title race. We have plenty of good teams in this. And despite only being promoted a stone's throw ago, this St. George team, in front of a very passionate home crowd, are contenders.
Yeah, I think so. They've matched it, more than matched it, with some very, very talented sides. And yes, well, that's the thing. It's a bit of a cliche, but I do believe that things start with defence, and well, nobody's defending better than St. George.
90 times 5 plus stoppage time in 10 halves now, where they have not conceded a goal. Manly may feel hard done by. St. George have just proven exactly what metal they're made of. It is pretty rigid and sturdy. My name is Mark DePoli. Your name is?
Eric Subihano.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. It's been a real pleasure.
Yes, and I just love to say thanks so much for tuning in and supporting our. Ground, but they're looking to create more great history.
Match of the round, the way at the home side. St George 1-0 thanks to Harrison Farrow, the superstar, the kid off the bench. The sub done dynamite. Good night from Mark and Eric. Thanks for being here.